What's up, families? It's your girl K-Day. Welcome back. As you can see, today we are going to do a nail video. I have attempted this video many times for y'all, and it has just not worked out. As you can see, I have some nails left over from my last attempt. I've been trying to get them off, but they will not come off. So today I'm going to just do the other nails that have come. Alrighty, so because as you can see, my hand was previously done, my cuticles are already cleaned and filed and shaped. What I'm going to do is glue the tips on, and then I'm gonna file the base of my nail and the base of the tip to give it to remove any shine or smoothness from the nail. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna get started. The last time I did this, like, there was a gap in some of the nails. So some of the videos that I've watched, you gotta really like press it down, like, because since everyone's fingers aren't as curved or whatever the case may be, you have to be really vigilant when placing these on and pressing down to make sure that it stays. So you can press it down for like 5 to 10 seconds. Press down the middle, press down the sides. And then you're going to repeat the same steps on the other 3 fingers on your hand, using the kiss nail glue to make sure that everything is secure. And once that's done, we're going to go ahead and cure that in our LED lamp for 30 seconds. Now that they're all on and secured, I can go ahead and get my nail tool and clip them down to the desired length. As you can see, I have a couple nails on, so I already know what length I want. So I'm going to just go ahead and go through and do that and making sure that they're all the same length. I'm going to make them just a little bit longer because we're going to have to file them down when we shape them. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, then I'm just going to go in and file and shape them, and again take any of the smoothness off of my nail bed itself and the nail tip, and just make it rough so that when I add the dehydrator and adhesive, everything stays on and it applies correctly. I'm using my Air C electric nail file from Amazon to file off the shiny layer off of my nail bed and the nail tip, just to make sure that it's properly prepped for when we put our first layer of polygel on the nail, and it'll give it a nice smooth transition, and it won't create any lifting or popping off from the nail further on down the line when you get into your everyday routine with the nails on. So I have taken off all of the smoothness off of my nail and the acrylic nail. This nail is worrying me just a little bit because, yeah, it looked like it was about to pop off. I'm gonna just glue it back on though, because I'm not about to go through that whole process again. Oh, I almost glued my damn finger to it. I'm gonna just stick it in the UV light real quick. Now that we have that secure, we're going to check and make sure that it's on. I'm going to move on to dehydrate and prime. I currently have my dehydrators from modelones. It came in a set on Amazon with also a primer. So those are the 2 that I use. I'm going to start off with the dehydrator first, and then do light strokes from my nail bed to my nail tip. Repeat the same steps with my primer as well, and you air dry both of these for 30 seconds. So just make sure that you're getting full coverage on each of your nails with both dehydrator and primer, letting them dry for 30 seconds. Now move on to our base coat, which is also from modelones. This came in a set as well with a top coat from Amazon. We're just going to start off with a thin layer of base coat. I usually like to swipe the sides of the bottle to make sure I'm not putting too much base coat on, and start from the end of my nail to the tip. And then once that's done, we're going to cure it for 30 seconds in our LED lamp. Alrighty, so now that that is done, yeah, Let's make sure you keep your place clean, no dust, because then that's gonna somehow end up on your nails and you don't want that. Okay, so now we're going to start with our first layer of polygel. My pinky nail is going to look the same as my middle and thumb finger. So we're going to start with that finger, and then my two other fingers are going to be design fingers. So I'm going to get my nude color from Rossi Girl and my glitter top coat, which is by Marquette. I also got that off of Amazon. So we're going to do that, and then I have to get my slip solution, which helps us manipulate the polygel. So we're going to pour some of the slip solution I got from Wish into our dapping dish so it can be more accessible to us when we are using the polygel. The slip solution I got came with this spatula and brush from Wish. They came in the set with a clear polygel as well, so that's how I got that. So I'm going to use my spatula side of my tool to get a small ball of the nude color polygel. We want just enough to make the first layer, not too much. So I'm going to go ahead and put that at the base of my nail and drag it to the tip, because that's where we're going to start building from with the other side of our tube, the brush side, after we dip it in our slip solution. You want to lightly dab the polygel and drag it to the end of the nail, creating a smooth layer of polygel, also cleaning around your cuticle and sidewall, making sure that there is no polygel there so that when it dries it won't create any lifting. Okay, once you've gotten it fully covered on your nail, you just want to clean up your sides and under your nail, making sure that there's not a clump of polygel on the bottom, and also making sure that your tip is covered smoothly and it's not too wide or nothing's like hanging off that would snag, although you could file it afterwards. You just don't want to. If you can get it as clean as possible so that you wouldn't have to do as much clean work when you're done. So that's what I'm doing, just getting any extra glob of polygel that's hanging off of my nail off of it just to get a clean cut. Alrighty. Then you're going to cure that in your LED lamp for about 60 seconds. Alrighty. And there you go. That is the first layer of the polygel, the nude color. Now for these two, I'm going to take my deep nude and put it to the side real quick because actually I'm going to need it. I'm just kidding, because I'm going to do this now. These two, they're going to be design nails. They're going to be similar. They're not going to be exactly the same though. So I'm going to start off with this one since I'm going to need the nude for it as well. Like I said, I don't like to waste, so I'm going to take the polygel that I slabbed in here a couple minutes ago out and place it on the base of my nail. And then I'm going to get a little bit more because there wasn't enough, but we don't want too much because we're only putting it on the base where the base end of my nail and the tip meet, because we're creating sort of a French tip look. So once I get that placed on there, I'm going to try and level it out as much as I can without going past where my nail ends to create that French tip look. There's many ways you can do it. You can round it out, which I'm going to do, or you can do like a cone shape, if you will, and you just have to gently pat it out until it's leveled, depending on the thickness of what you want your nail to be. So that's what I'm doing right here. Once you have that placed at your nail end, you can start to pat the polygel back down towards your cuticle to make sure that it's nice and leveled and there isn't a hump at the top where you have to connect the tip. Alrighty, I think I have that on there as best as I'm going to get it. Just fix this over here. Alright, then you're going to cure that in your LED lamp as well. And just then take it off, and you can inspect it. If it's too thick, then you can go ahead and file it down. If it's just right, you can move on. I am still deciding. I think from looking at it, it's pretty good. It's not too thick, but right here in this ridge where the nail and the polygel end could be a little smoother, so I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna light file it really quick. So right now we're just gonna worry about this. Okay, so now the free edge is still left for the tip part. The last time I did this, I did it straight on the nail, and it was the colors that I used were a little light because I'm going to use my building gel. I have the Saviland yellow. I got this on Saviland's website, and then I have this like turquoise blue as well, so I'm gonna use that. And then I had pearl pink in the mix, if I can get my hands on it, from Rossi, my Rossi pearl pink, and I had those kind of marbled on there. I'm gonna use this white UV gel just to make it pop a little bit, but I'm gonna put an extremely thin layer because I don't want it to be too thick. So I'm gonna move these over here really quickly while I do that. And like I said, this is like the blue polygel. The blue building gel. They're very self-setting. So once I put this very thin layer on here, I won't have to do anything to it. I just have to put it on. I'm dropping stuff, as y'all can see, because I'm clumsy. But that's the thin layer that I'm gonna put on, and then I'm gonna put that in the LED lamp for about a minute as well. And be turning it off soon though. Alright. So now that that has been cured in the LED lamp, I just want to feel and make sure that it's actually dry enough for me to work with, or if I should. I'm gonna cure it for another 30 seconds. I don't like how wet it feels. So now, as you can see, I have my base layer of the pearl, not the pearl pink, this is what, the nude color, and then I have a pre-base layer of the white under here. Put my finger under the nail, you can probably see the white better. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do my marble colors. Before I start, I gotta quickly wipe off my nail with acetone to get rid of that tacky layer on the polygel. And I'm gonna take my 100, 180 file and file this down so that it could be just a little more leveled. I don't want to file too much because, like I said, polygel is thin, so you just want to file it just enough to make sure that it's level. There's no lumps. There's nothing there to prevent the polygel from blending. Alrighty, so I filed this just a little bit just to get it a little smoother and leveled down. And now that I have these, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on my mixture of colors. All right, so get a little piece of paper, lay it down because this is where you're gonna be putting your colors that you're going to be marbling together. We have this yellow, it's very vibrant, very pretty. Take a little bit of that. And this building gel is like way softer than the polygel, so you gotta be careful with it. It'll get everywhere. That's the yellow. And like I said before, the building gel is self-leveling, so I won't have to use my slip solution for this. And you can't really, how do I have to say this, like manipulate it too much, because it's gonna do its own thing. And then the more you manipulate it, the more it sticks to your brush, and then it just gets messy. So just place it where you want it to be and then just leave it alone. The most you'll have to do is make sure that it's not on your sidewalls or on your cuticle, and then just make sure it's not slipping off of the free edge. This is our blue. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the yellow polygel and place a little bit on the paper, not too much. And then lastly, we have our pearl pink. After each one, try to clean off your brush. And this is hard for me because I'm like wasting polygel right now, but yeah, so you don't mix any colors together. Because my pink is polygel, I'm gonna go ahead and start with that. And I can be able to manipulate that how I want. So I'm gonna do that one first. Alright, so I'm gonna just gently pat the pearl pink in random spots. I don't want to put too many like big globs in there because then it's gonna be the nail itself is gonna be uneven. I might have to do too much filing, so you just place them sporadically, like I'm doing here. I'm gonna move on to the blue and do the same thing. It's a little harder with the building gel though because it has to self-level, so it's gonna lay where it wants to lay. But we just keep repeating the pattern with that and moving on to the yellow, and they will eventually blend themselves together. Alright, once you got all your colors on there the way you want them, you're gonna try your best to manipulate it into the shape of your nail. Like I said, the building gel literally has a mind of its own, so it's gonna do what it wants to do. Taking your brush, you're going to blend the free edge part that we just did with the base nude color that we already did, making sure that it's seamless so that you won't be able to see like a straight stop and start in the two different polygels. It'll just be seamless. And make sure you're cleaning up any polygel that got somewhere it shouldn't be. Alrighty, and then I'm gonna cure it 60 seconds. Okay, so yeah, I just finished filing this down to the desired thickness. Tried to make sure that it wasn't too clumpy, and I still want to get this little piece right here because I feel like it's testing my gangster right now. Alright, so that nail is done. And once I go over it with clear polygel just to seal it off and make sure that everything is uniform, there's no ridges or anything like that, I'll do that when I do the second layer of this. We're going to move on to this nail. This nail is going to be a little bit different, a little bit fun. I have never tried the plastic wrap nails, and I've seen them on Instagram and YouTube, so I'm going to try and do that on this nail. We're going to see how it turns out together because I have no idea. But just like I put a base of white under that marble, I'm going to do that as well because I'm going to do possibly a bigger marble on this nail. We'll see how this really turns out. It may be marble, it may not be marble. It may just be what God intends it to be. The end. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Just like the other design now, we're going to make sure that we're doing a thin white layer of this building gel right here. So I'm just gonna do a couple strokes of that. Also making sure that we're still cleaning our sidewall and our cuticle. Alright, so you cured that for 60 seconds. Just because I want to make sure that the colors actually pop a little bit, so I think I'm gonna do another coat of this. After that second coat, I went ahead and cleaned with acetone, and now I'm going to file it down to make sure it's smooth and there's no ridges, so I can go over with my marble colors. Our blue. And our yellow. I'm going to put some more slip solution in my dapping dish because it's running low. Now I'm going to go in with the pearl pink because it's the polygel and not the building gel. It's a little thicker, and I'm gonna have to manipulate it, and I want it to be I want it to be thin. I don't want it to be super thick. Just like I did with the other design nail, I'm going to take the pearl pink and bring it up to where my nail end and the tip starts, just so that when I add the blue and the yellow, it'll be marbled from the tip like the other nail. So they're similar. They may not be exactly the same, but yeah, that's how I'm going to do it and bring it down. Alright, so now I have those applied on there. As you can see, the building gel is leveling itself out from after I did the polygel with the pearl pink. You're just gonna sit the plastic wrap on the nail. Like that. And from what I'm seeing on social media, you are supposed to bunch it together with a nail tool. So I'm gonna maneuver it to give it those ridges. Okay, and then we're gonna cure in our LED lamp for 60 seconds. So we're gonna take the plastic wrap off, and as you can see, it's dry and it has spilled over the sides of my nails. So we're gonna have to get the electric nail file and file it down to shape, as I'm doing right now. You gotta do it gently as to not mess up the design from the plastic wrap. Files, we're going to encapsulate these translucent flakes with clear polygel, and we're going to cure that in our LED lamp for 60 to 90 seconds. Once it's done, you're going to file and shape all your nails into the shape that you want them to be. Now all of my nails are the desired shape, and I brushed all of the residue off. I can go ahead and get ready for top coat. As I said earlier, I have a modelones top coat, so I'm going to put that on the 2 design nails. And then I'm going to use the Macart glitter top coat for my other 3 nude nails and cure that in my LED light for 90 seconds. Okay, now that my nails have been cured and the top coat is a no wipe off, so I don't need to clean it, I can move to the last step, which is use my cuticle oil that I got off Amazon. It smells so good. It's milk and honey scented. I use a drop on each finger just to give it the finished nail look like at the salon. And I just rub it in with my hand gently. And as you can see, these are my finished first polygel nail set.